Another go home show for the next PLE. Clash in Italy is this weekend. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Snug Wrestling. My name is Edgar. I'm the host. We're going to be going over WWE's Monday Night Raw. And this past weekend, we had Saturday night's main event. This upcoming weekend, Clash in Italy at a very awkward time because they are in Italy. It's going to be goddamn Sunday morning for us, for me over here, to watch this freaking show. So we'll be going over the road to Clash in Italy, what we saw in this episode of Monday Night Raw. Tommy, Toxic, welcome back. Toxic is finally back with us, dude. How you been, man? We missed you. Good to have you back.
I've been good. I've just been out for a couple weeks trying to finish school, and I went on a cruise, so that was always fun. I met a lot of cool people on there. I'm pretty sure I got recognized for from here, so that was pretty cool. I don't really remember, but um, yeah, all that was fun. My time off was fun, trying to get myself controlled because I'm still mentally unstable. But yeah, I'm happy to be back.
Overall, I'm doing good. The show obviously had its ups and downs. What a way to finish the show, though, with Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu with that segment. It's official on that. Although, Triple H learned not to spoil the beginning of the show, dude. Because he posted about what was going to happen and made it official before the contract was even signed, which sucks. But at the same time, let's be honest, we all knew that was going to happen.
Which was what exactly, Tommy?
Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was no way Oba Femi wasn't going to sign that contract, right? I think that was the only thing that they needed. Lesnar had already signed it, and it was just a matter of Oba signing it, which I mean, could we even call that a spoiler?
Technically, no on that, but Triple H did post the actual poster saying that it is official, like just a couple
Yeah.
hours before the show went on air.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, Paul Heyman did start off Monday Night Raw, and it was the build up for the biggest rematch of all time, Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. I thought we were gonna get a Brock Lesnar appearance here, and when Paul Heyman did the announcement and he pointed to the stage, I was waiting for Brock Lesnar's music to hit, but we got a video package instead. And we finally got a little bit more. We heard a little bit from Brock Lesnar and what really happened at WrestleMania when he thought he was going to retire. He was done for good. He got his ass whooped at WrestleMania by Oba Femi. But Brock Lesnar was not satisfied. He was not going to end things that way. So he decided to come back and he's going to return the favor. Brock Lesnar can take an ass beating, but can Oba Femi take an ass beating? Brock Lesnar is going to humble Oba Femi. He's hungry and they're both ready to just beat each other up, man. And that's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to this. Oba Femi also says, I'm going to retire Brock Lesnar for a second time. And I believe the exact word that he said is he's going to kill Brock Lesnar. So it's official, like Tommy said. Oba Femi signed the contract, and we're going to be seeing Oba versus Brock at Clash in Italy.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be a one and done with these two, but I also kind of thought it was whenever Brock, quote unquote, retired at Mania. But now that I think about the WrestleMania match, I don't feel like it felt like the hype going into it. Yeah, that's how it should have been. But the match itself felt like underwhelming. So, hopefully this time it feels like how Mania was supposed to feel like. But I don't want it to be like Mania when I don't know how to understand this part in my notes because I typed it weird. But I don't understand why they're going at it again. It makes sense now that Oba said like, "Oh, last time was to beat Brock. This time is to kill Brock." That
Mhm.
changed my mind, but at first I did not understand why they were running this back. Um, but I'm excited to see it again. Hopefully, Brock doesn't win, but I'll save my reasonings for that for predictions.
Yeah, I'll save my prediction as well. Although I don't even think they're stopping at 2. I think we're getting the best of 3 situation, and the finale to this best of 3 will be at SummerSlam in Minnesota, right where Brock Lesnar is home to. That would make the most sense, at least to me. Of course, we knew that Brock Lesnar already signed it and Oba Femi was going to sign it. That's just how that was going to be. There was no possible way that Oba Femi was going to get attacked from behind by Brock Lesnar and not sign that contract to go, hey, I'm going to fuck you up again. But I'm just going to save my actual prediction for Wednesday when we do those. But like I said, I think this is going to be a best of 3. So I think it might be tied up.
Yeah, I'm right there with you too, Tommy. I don't think it ends at Clash in Italy. I also believe the end of this is going to be best of 3 at SummerSlam in Minnesota. But yeah, we will be talking about what we think is going to go down here, specifically this Wednesday for our prediction episode for Clash in Italy. But yep, it's going to go down this weekend. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar once again, the biggest rematch of all time in pro wrestling. How Paul Heyman said it, which that's one of the good matches I'm really looking forward to for this weekend. And speaking of good matches, Javon Evans got an Intercontinental Championship match versus Penta, and this was kind of unexpected. I didn't know that we were going to get this match, let alone Javon. They're gonna give Javon Evans a title match. Okay, I mean Penta just came back from defending it at Saturday night's main event. 2 defenses back to back, and that's got to go into play, right? So I thought this was going to be the night that the title changes hands for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm like, Penta just defended. He had a crazy ass match 2 days ago. And if someone is going to take the title off of Penta, I think it's going to be Javon Evans. I still think that. And we've seen WWE do these things before where they unexpectedly change the title like that, right? So I'm like, man, this would be crazy if Javon Evans actually wins it. And Javon Evans came really close. He almost had it, but Penta just kept countering and countering and countering. Javon Evans kept trying to hit one OG cutter, counter, another one, counter. And Penta got the win. And I think this is Penta's not just second title defense in 48 hours, but I think a total of 8 total defenses. Talk about a fucking fighting champion. Penta defeated Javon Evans here on this episode of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, so real quick, just on the title itself, this is what the Intercontinental Championship is about. It's the workhorse title. It's goes to the people that'll more than likely defend it week in, week out, and not have a problem with it. People like Penta, people more than likely, if Javon can get it, Javon Evans, Rey Mysterio, I'm pretty sure he would, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he's close to his way out. He's also the AAA general manager, which I was excited for that. But it was very hard for me to decide who I wanted to win this match when I saw it announced. Also, Penta's gear looked amazing. I love the black, white, and purple mixed. I think the purple was only on the jacket, but these two are 2 of the most athletic singles competitors on Raw. And when it comes to high flying and just overall ring work for me, but I noticed how every time Javon does that OG cutter from the turnbuckles, how he just keeps holding on to that back, and I'm pretty sure that's why he took a few weeks off. But I think I have a solution to that. If he were to, so you know how Cody Rhodes does the Crossroads Trinity whenever he needs it. Like he doesn't do it often. I think Javon should do that version of the OG cutter, like as a super finisher, like for those of you that play 2K. And how Soul does the Soul Snatcher on the ropes and not in the turnbuckle, even though she does that too. I think he should just do the normal one on the ropes because it'll more than likely have his back hurt a lot less when he does it. So, I mean, that's a solution, but Penta driving Javon's back into the announce table scared me. Also, that OG cutter onto the apron, that also scared me. But an amazing match and display of high flying abilities. Penta retains, and I'm happy with it. This leaves the question in my head, who can beat Penta? Because he seems pretty unbeatable right now after he beat everyone at WrestleMania, Javon and Ethan in 48 hours. So I'm curious to see if who can take it off of him and how long it takes. I want to say it's gonna be at SummerSlam.
And if it's at SummerSlam, there is one match that odds are this is going to end up being. And I know Snug has heard me say it before, and he hates it every time I say it. Fatal 4-way. We're looking at Penta, Rusev, Javon Evans, and Ethan Page. Odds are that's probably what's going to end up happening is we're going to get those four in the ring in a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental title, in which that match already sounds absolutely insane just because of who is in the ring. And if you watch Ethan Page and Javon Evans back when they were on NXT, you know exactly how good they are. But this match, I had a feeling like Penta was not losing it simply because of the fact that I've had my mind set for weeks now that it was going to end up being a fatal 4-way because of everybody involved. But now we've also got Rey Mysterio involved as well with a match later on in the show that we'll talk about with Rusev. And with him being the AAA general manager, I've definitely got some thoughts on that, but we'll get to that here in a bit. But still, at this point, that's the only way I could see Penta feasibly losing the title with how he is now, is if it's going to end up being a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about Rey Mysterio here in a bit. But first, we got to talk about Joe Hendry. He came back to sing his very famous song, Fire Logan Paul, that the people love to sing along to. But before that, it was announced that Logan Paul suffered a injury. I believe it was like a torn bicep that they said he suffered at Saturday Night's Main Event. So Logan Paul is set to be out of action for months, which means that he had to relinquish his tag team title, but Braun Breaker is going to take over. So right now, Austin Theory and Braun Breaker are the world tag team titles now that Logan Paul is gone. And Austin Theory took that personally and decided to beat the crap out of Joe Hendry with the steel chair. So yeah, we had that side of Austin Theory, really pissed off side of Austin Theory, just taking out Joe Hendry. What'd you guys think about that?
I didn't really know if I should take notes on that or not, but I already have my thoughts in my head. The fact that Joe Hendry is just an absolute troll, and knowing that Logan Paul got injured, he just has to do that to him. So I found that funny. And then Austin coming out and attacking him. I knew when he said, I'm going to go after everyone that was involved in getting Logan hurt, I knew he was going after Dawkins, but I didn't know he was going to go after Joe Hendry. I didn't know that. It was kind of expected because of the entire Fire Logan Paul song, but the only part about this that pissed me off is when Austin Theory hit Joe Hendry in the head when he was near the ring post, and you can just hear that referee or the official or whatever it is saying, "Are you okay?" No, he just got his head fucking smashed by a chair. What do you think? So I enjoyed this, but just that small detail pissed me off.
Yeah, this was expected, especially knowing the fact that he put out the song and all of that. Everybody knows it. But here's my biggest issue, and it's not even with the chair shots. WWE, when you are advertising a Joe Hendry concert for the show, how about you don't have 90% of it during a fucking ad break? Because that's exactly what it was. 90% of this damn concert was via an ad break, and only that last little bit people got to see. So people coming back from the ads are super, super confused on what in the world he's doing. That was my biggest problem. It's the fact that they've done this to Joe Hendry multiple times now. It hasn't just been here. There's been a couple other instances in the past few weeks as well of them doing that. And I'm like, why do you keep doing this?
Yeah, it's odd the way that they do like the commercial breaks, the spots that they choose are very odd sometimes. But yeah, cuz like I wasn't watching this live, right? I had to step away. I left my house for like the first 20 minutes. And when I came back, I was like watching it and trying to catch up. And then I was skipping through everything. And then I stopped at Joe Hendry and the fans were singing his song. And I'm like, fuck, I hope I didn't miss anything. But it sounds like I didn't miss anything. It sounds like everyone pretty much started watching in the middle of this thing while Joe Hendry was singing. And you pretty much just hear maybe like 20, 30 seconds of the song. And then Austin Theory shows up and attacks Joe Hendry. Does that sound right to you?
Yep, that is pretty much exactly what happened. He sang the song during ads, and then the last 30 seconds of it was during the actual show when he got hit with the chair.
Okay, good. So I'm glad I didn't miss too much then. And then the Judgment Day wrestled Bailey and Lyra. This is built around the women's tag team division. So basically, whoever wins this match is getting closer to a tag team title shot at some point. And it was Bailey and Lyra got the win despite Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan being ringside trying to get involved and all that. Um, but yeah, Bailey and Lyra got the win here. Toxic.
My bad. I was fixing my notes because something happened. But I'm getting annoyed at this entire thing of us constantly seeing on the Raw side of things just Bailey and Lyra versus the Judgment Day or some combination of the two in singles matches. Plus, I'm getting annoyed that Bailey is in the tag title division when I'd rather whoever wins that Clash in Italy between Becky and Soul, I'd rather Bailey go after the Women's Intercontinental Championship. That looks way better for her instead of the women's tag titles. But I mean, Bailey in the tag title scene isn't doing it for me anymore, and I'm tired of seeing the matchup between Raquel and Roxanne or Lyra and Bailey, and it's just getting annoying. Please do something different or add a new team on Raw.
I actually like this match. Then again, I love Bailey and Lyra together. They just work so well. But what I find interesting didn't even happen during this match. It happened during an ad break, actually. There was an interview with Bailey and Lyra Valkyria, and Lyra reminded the world, hey, 2 years ago, I was in the finals for the Queen of the Ring tournament. I'm throwing my hat back in the ring, and I'm going for it again. And at this point, as long as she doesn't have to go up against Nia Jax, I have a feeling like she's got a pretty damn good shot at it because it was only Nia that could take her out. Then again, that matchup was expected.
Well, thank you for the perfect segue into the King of the Ring because we heard from LA Knight It's been a minute since LA Knight has been in the middle of the ring cutting a promo talking to the fans. It's been a while, but it was good to see LA Knight back. And he talks about the King of the Ring. He wants to be in the tournament. He wants to win the tournament. He wants to get the crown because getting that crown eventually leads to a title shot versus Roman Reigns. And he called out Roman. I'm coming after you, Roman. Once I get that King of the Ring crown, I'm coming after Roman. And LA Knight brings up the Usos, how they were fighting side by side at WrestleMania. And the fact that Roman Reigns is trying to rebuild the old bloodline again and use the Usos like he did before in the past. Jimmy comes out to confront LA Knight, and he basically tells LA Knight, he warns him like, hey, you better watch out. You better stop disrespecting Roman or else we're going to have some problems, right? And LA Knight is like, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You're being second and third fiddle to Roman Reigns. You're doing his dirty work. If I win the King of the Ring and if I get a title shot, is it going to be a fair title shot, or are you and Jay going to get involved? So that's the big question, right? LA Knight is kind of trying to talk some sense into Jimmy. Like, hey, don't do the same shit that you did before. But all of this, seeing LA Knight call out Roman, seeing LA Knight talk about the King of the Ring, getting involved with the Usos, there's hope for LA Knight. They're going to do something interesting with him. Hopefully, he's being involved there with some of the top guys on Monday Night Raw. So that, I'm actually pretty pumped for this. I'm interested to see where this is going to go.
I am so glad that LA Knight was the one to, if you don't have ads or you do have ads, you didn't see the Lyra interview with whoever announcing King and the Queen or whatever the fuck it's called. But I'm glad that I saw LA Knight do it because that made me think that they are actually going to pull the fucking trigger on him. Just please. Every time we feel that they don't do it or they are going to do it, they don't do it. But this time it feels different. I can sense it. Either this one, either King of the Ring or Money in the Bank. Please. He just needs something. But thank God they still kept the Usos solo themes, like because Jimmy came out to his theme. Because I like those themes so much. But I'm excited for King of and Queen of the Ring. And just please give it to LA Knight. He needs something.
Shout out to our boy BT Knight because I'm going to pull him real quick. WWE, you have been giving LA Knight the short end of the goddamn stick for a good 2 years now at least. Come the fuck on and pull the damn trigger on our boy LA Knight. Please. This man needs something. And if you're going to give him anything, I'm with Toxic on this one. You've got two opportunities. One that is coming up real quick and one that's a little bit more in the distance, but still there. Either King of the Ring, put that crown on him, have him go up against Roman, or give him the damn briefcase. Those are the two biggest things you could do for this man, and it would blast this man off to the goddamn moon. Please pull the trigger. This man 100% deserves it.
Yeah, fair enough, dude. I forgot about the Money in the Bank. Yeah, but first it's the King of the Ring. That thing is going to be starting. I think they said next week, right? Is when the King of the Ring starts. So that's going to be exciting. I'm can't wait to see the brackets, who's going to be in it, and all that good stuff. It's that time of year again. It's going to be a fun time. And also, speaking of fun times, Montez Ford had a singles match versus Seth Rollins. This was set up in a backstage segment because, well, both Seth and Montez are really, they're really stubborn, right? Seth Rollins came to Dawkins to try to tell them, like, we should work together. We got to take advantage. Logan Paul is out injured. They're down one man. This is when we should strike and take them out completely. But Montez Ford wants nothing to do with it. Montez Ford, he doesn't want anything to do with Seth Rollins, and he doesn't want to work with him. He doesn't want any alliance. He's like, screw you, Seth Rollins. Matter of fact, I want to fight you one-on-one because you're annoying the crap out of me, basically, right? Seth Rollins says, fine, let's fucking do it. It's been a couple of years since people have been saying that Montez Ford should be a singles competitor, that he's really talented, and he is. He's got the charisma, he's got the aura, he's got great in-ring ability. He should be a singles competitor. And tonight we saw him one-on-one versus a top guy like Seth Rollins, who can pretty much make anybody look good. And they had one hell of a match, man. This was a great match. So I was really glad to see Montez Ford in this spot. Seth Rollins did win, but after the match, they pretty much got on the same page. They had to beat the crap out of each other first. And then Montez Ford was like, you know what? You're right. We should stick together in this. So they got over their differences after having a really good fucking match.
Although I don't know why I'm mentioning this now when I could have mentioned it later or early on, but they might be down Logan Paul. But I think Bronson is coming close to coming back because I seen a post from him of him working, and he looks damn good. So I think it's a matter of time before he comes back in the ring. But this match was inevitable to happen, and I'm so glad we got it because the match sounds great on paper and could go either way if you just think about it. But at the same time, the reasoning for the match is stupid. Yes, they both make great points. Rollins can't be trusted because he stabbed all his allies in the back, causing him to not have any. But the numbers game against the Vision goes a long way. And part of me thinks Montez does way too much in little time when he's in the ring because I want to say it was like midway through. He looked like he tired himself out with just how much he was doing. And he looked like he had to stop and catch his breath for a minute while he was going up onto the turnbuckle, which Seth had to do the superplex into the Falcon Arrow. But they could have went over that before the match. The beatdown on Dawkins made sense to happen, like I said, but I hated the camera angle they used for it because you can see where Theory missed to not actually hit Dawkins, but you could just see how where he hit. So, I mean, that just ruined it for me. But I enjoyed this entire match and segment. And Montez finally not being stubborn and saying, you know what, Seth, you're right. You're right. We need to work together.
At that point, that's what Montez should have said from the start, because there is this magical concept, and we have brought it up before in the past for other feuds and all of that, but it is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. At this point, Seth is overall right. It's like, I get it. I've stabbed everybody that I've ever teamed with in the back. Except for one, that being the Vision. They stabbed him in the back, but still. At this point, that is what needed to happen. And if this match is what it needed for Montez to have click in his head and just go, hey, you're right. At this rate, we need to be together for this. Because the Vision is one dangerous group. And especially with Bronson Reed about to come back, because he's getting real close. He's getting fit and all of that. So he's ready. It's only a matter of time before Big Bronson Reed makes his WWE return. And when that happens, Seth is going to need Montez a whole lot more than he thinks, because when Bronson Reed comes back, Seth is the massive target that Bronson Reed is ready to squash.
Yeah, we also saw a backstage segment after this match where Seth Rollins was pretty much told Adam Pearce, like, hey, this has gone too far. This has to end now. We got to do something about this. Tell Braun Breaker that I want him. And Adam Pearce said, fine, I'll go talk to him. So I think, I don't know, man. You think we're going to get that match at Clash in Italy? Because if so, was it announced? Are we getting that match at Clash in Italy?
That was not announced, but if that does happen, that makes 6 matches on the card.
Yeah, so it's not going to be at Clash in Italy then, because also that was it. That this is the final Raw before Clash in Italy. I don't think they'll add another match, especially a Raw match on SmackDown, unless they decide to, or maybe they'll announce that match for next week or something like that. Because what comes after Clash in Italy? Let me check.
I think it's Night of Champions.
Night of Champions?
Yeah, that's where I think they're not doing the
Clash, Night of Champions, and then SummerSlam.
No, it's SummerSlam is like after Money in the Bank. I'm
Oh,
pretty
that's
sure
right,
it goes whatever they do for Clash, like Clash at the Castle, whatever, and then Night of Champions or King and Queen of the Ring. I don't think they're doing that anymore though.
So SummerSlam is next. It says
What?
in August, April, May.
So you're telling me they're going to fill up this entire month with 2 actual PLEs and a glorified house show and then nothing for the next 2 months?
So according to Google, it's going to be Clash in Italy, May 31st this weekend. And then August 1st and 2nd is SummerSlam.
Okay, so why start the King and Queen of the tournament? I can't with this fucking name. Why start the tournaments now?
Let me see. Let me check if there's another source.
I mean, that just don't make sense to me, because I thought it was always Clash at whatever they're doing, and then wherever King and Queen of the Ring takes place, and then Money in the Bank, and then SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's how it was last year, where they had King and Queen of the Ring finals at Night of Champions.
Yeah. So there is, Night of Champions is going to be June 27th at Saudi Arabia. So they're doing that. And then they're doing another Saturday night's main event on the 18th, which is a week. No, July 18th. I'm sorry. July 18th. And then it's SummerSlam. So yeah, they'll probably do that match. I'm guessing Night of Champions, but neither Braun Breaker or Seth are champions. But I guess technically Braun Breaker is one half of the tag team champions now. But it makes sense to have Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker at Night of Champions, or do you think they'll do that at Saturday night's main event or SummerSlam?
The problem is, the biggest thing that Seth made crystal clear tonight is that he doesn't want to wait at all. He wants this match as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah, that's a fair point. We'll probably learn about that next Monday. They'll probably give us more information onto when this match might take place, but I need to find out ASAP because I need to see that match once again. All right, y'all, let's keep it moving. We had a number 1 contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship between Rey Mysterio and Rusev. Now, I love Rey Mysterio, right? But I got to call shenanigans on this one, man. This has got to be like some type of conflict of interest because Rey Mysterio he's part of the office now. He's a general manager from AAA. So when I saw Rey and Adam Pearce talking, I'm like, all right, they're talking as general managers, one general manager to another general manager, kind of like Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce. Well, now it's Rey Mysterio and Adam Pearce. And they were talking about the Intercontinental Championship, and I thought they were doing business to see or to get Penta to defend the title in AAA. But it turns out Rey Mysterio was talking to Adam Pearce for his own title shot for the Intercontinental Championship. And I'm like, okay, so Rey Mysterio is still, he's a general manager for AAA, but he's still an active talent in the main roster on Monday Night Raw. So Javon Evans gets a title match out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere. He's been mixed in the title scene, in the IC title scene, but they give Javon Evans a title shot. So my thought process was Rusev is next. Ethan Page got a title shot. Javon Evans got a title shot. Rusev is next, right? But Rey Mysterio's over here politicking. He's like, nah, I'm next, motherfucker. But Adam Pearce is like, okay, hold on. All right, you guys are going to go have a match. Rusev versus Penta, number one contender. The winner gets a title shot for Penta's Intercontinental Championship. Rey Mysterio says, okay. They have the match. Rey Mysterio beats Rusev. So now we're going to have Rey Mysterio versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship at some point. Probably Night of Champions. Or not. I don't know. Thoughts on that, fellas?
Okay, so I'm gonna correct your thought process because there's actually a reason why Ray was talking to Adam Pearce. I'm pretty sure it was after the match or before, or no, not before. After Penta and Javon, or I don't know what other match, but there was a backstage segment where Penta came up to Javon after Javon looked really fucking pissed that he lost, and saying Javon said, "Hey, I'm gonna be coming after that again very soon." And then Ray came up to Penta, and Penta offered Ray a title shot. So because he wants to be a fighting champion, so that's why Ray was talking to Adam Pearce, and which I can see why you say, okay, that's they're playing corporate or whatever, but no, there was actually a reason for that. But the match itself, the entire time I'm thinking on who I want to win, who would have a better match with Pento. Now we've already seen stuff with Rusev and Penta, but I would like to see Ray and Penta. We've seen them in the ring before as tag partners, I'm pretty sure, and against each other at WrestleMania in the ladder match. But I want to see them in a singles match. The match was great, no complaints. It's a Rey Mysterio match. Ray's matches are always good. There's always no complaints. I'm pretty sure there was only like one. But one part I did love about this was Ethan Page on commentary. He was just hating to hate on commentary by Ray. Like, he was on commentary hating to hate on Ray the entire time. And I'm pretty sure whenever, I don't know, but he just like, damn it. That was just funny as fuck. And then when Dragon came out, he's like, go the hell away, Dragon. Eventually, I do think that we're gonna get Dragon Lee and Ray versus Rusev and Ethan Page, since them two are basically forming an alliance. But this entire segment was great.
So, Soda619, shout out to him, did say one thing during his live that I completely agree with. Why couldn't he have called this title shot in AAA? He's general manager for AAA, and if Penta was going to suggest a title shot for Rey Mysterio anyways, Why not have it in AAA? I mean, he's not the one going, hey, look, you're winning this, you're winning that type of thing. He's competing for it at that point. So couldn't
That
he
would
have
be
just called that for AAA?
that would be really fucking heelish if Rey Mysterio's like, I'm the general manager of AAA, and I'm gonna give myself an Intercontinental Championship match in AAA. That's
Wouldn't be the first time. Vince McMahon for the world title.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's very Vince McMahon like. I don't think Ray gets down like that, you know.
Yeah, but at the same time, I believe this is actually the first time we've seen Rey Mysterio and Rusev go head to head, one-on-one at least. So overall, that was a great match there. But Toxic, I am going to correct you on one thing. We have seen Penta versus Rey in what started off as a one-on-one. Because it was the men's Royal Rumble when they pulled 1 and 2.
Yeah, but it wasn't a one-on-one. It was at the Rumble, so it doesn't count.
It started off as a one-on-one for like 5 minutes.
Okay, but Tommy, I mean just like a regular one-on-one, not the Royal Rumble. That's completely different.
We've still seen them head-to-head against each other, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a good match. It's going to be a good moment. It's just the question is when and where is this going to go down at? That's the big question because I'm pretty sure this is going to be a dream match for many Lucha fans. So, yeah, we'll see what they what the WWE decides to do with that one. But it's time to talk about the contract signing, fellas. Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns had their contract signing. Jacob Fatu signs it, and then Roman Reigns comes out and he signs the contract. And Roman tells Jacob, like, what are you doing, Jacob? Like, this thing right here, what could have been so easy, so simple. All you had to do was acknowledge me after I beat you at Backlash. All you had to do was fall in line and everything would have been good. But Jacob Fatu is like, hell nah, bro. I don't get down like that. I'm not going to acknowledge you because I'm not like everyone else. And this is the part where I started getting confused. They kind of started losing me because Jacob was saying, because of you, Roman, the family is where they're at. We're successful. You've given us everything. You put us in this the top of the mountain in this industry. You've done all these great things for our family, but it's time for a change. It's time for a new direction. It's time for a new destination. And I'm like, why? You literally just said Roman is the reason why we have all these great things. Our life is great. The family's perfect. But Jacob Fatu's like, that's not good enough for me, brother. I want to change. I love Jacob and I love the story, but that part to me did not make sense. And basically, Roman says, fine. If I beat you, I'm going to domesticate you and you're going to fall in line and you're going to learn from me and you're going to learn to love me. But if Jacob, if you beat me, then you're the new head of the table. They agree, they shake on it, and the match is set for Clash in Italy, Tribal Combat. But I'm starting to lose interest in Jacob's reasoning. Like his reasoning is making me, as much as I love Jacob, but his side of things is making me cheer for Roman more. I'm starting to side with Roman more in this situation the more I hear about this.
They keep putting this over on commentary, and I keep getting so confused because I only remember 2 of them. There's only been 3 or 2 tribal combat matches because I remember Jay and Roman at SummerSlam.
This is the third one.
This is the okay.
Jay and Solo.
Yeah. Okay. I actually didn't know how this was gonna go. Actually, I did, but that's not what I wrote. I don't know why I said that. I actually didn't know what to say about this because I thought they would have had a huge brawl, but they didn't because of the no contact clause in the contract signing. Um, but I'm genuinely curious how this is going to work out because let's say Roman wins. If Jacob didn't acknowledge him then, what makes you think he's going to do it now? But one thing I know damn sure better happen is Zilla Fatu. I'm going to save what I think is going to happen for predictions, but it has been way overdue at this point. I think it should have happened maybe a year ago when the entire Bloodline 2.0 versus OG Bloodline thing was happening. I felt like it should have happened there, but I mean, do it here. You got the perfect spot for him to enter in. I could even paint it out, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna save it. But I enjoyed this, and I was already excited to see it, but now I'm more excited to see it.
Of course, this is, in fact, the perfect spot for Zilla Fatu, especially since he just relinquished his title on the Indies. So this is the perfect spot for Zilla Fatu to slip in. And I will gladly remind you, wasn't it 2 years ago or something like that, that it was a different tribal combat match and Solo came in?
No, okay, Tommy, you're thinking of Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre for the Universal title, and Solo he costed Drew the title.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. But still, that would be a perfect callback to that because at that point, Solo had yet to be fully introduced into that because he was still sort of on NXT with the North American title and all of that. So that fit perfectly there. Zilla Fatu entering here. Yes, please. It has been so long. And with people full blown saying Zilla Fatu needs to enter into this story somehow, this is the perfect spot for it. But I will gladly reiterate something that Blood said when we did everything for Backlash. There is not a single goddamn person who thinks that he actually has a chance against Roman. There's just not. And I will gladly explain that, but I will have y'all wait until Wednesday because there's a lot to go in with that. But right now, I do not think that anyone fully believes that Jacob Fatu can pull this off.
I don't know, man. I okay, so their first match, I did feel like that. Their first match, Jacob versus Roman at Backlash. I was like, there's no way Roman is going to lose. He just won. It's too soon. It's his first title defense. Roman Reigns has to win. But now things feel different. Things feel different. Jacob Fatu seems determined. We've seen a meaner, more nastier side of Jacob Fatu. Didn't he attack Roman after the match? And he's been attacking Roman left and right.
Yeah, with the death grip.
Yeah. So don't forget about that, Tommy. There's been a lot of stuff that even Roman seems a little bit concerned, for his well-being there for a few times I felt like Jacob Fatu has Roman's number. So I wouldn't underestimate Jacob Fatu, man. And it's tribal combat, anything goes, anyone can show up. I mean, anything can happen, Tommy. Anything can happen.
Yeah, sure, anything can happen, but you just said the problem. Anything goes, which means Jacob Fatu is guaranteed to be outnumbered. You've got Roman Reigns and you've got the Usos who could absolutely get involved here.
All right,
That's
now we're
the
getting
problem.
into predictions, but we got to wait on that for a couple more days. But for now, let's call it here, fellas. That was Monday Night Raw, the go home show before Clash in Italy. Yeah, stay tuned for later on this week. We got some fun stuff coming up. We got an exclusive interview with Mecha Wolf this week from AAA. We got the predictions. We got Friday Night SmackDown. We got Clash in Italy this weekend. So it's going to be another week of lots of content from Snug Wrestling. Check out the episodes on Apple and Spotify, and also check out our social media for clips and a bunch of other fun content. Be sure to leave a star rating and review, and we will see you very, very soon. Let's get up out of here, fellas.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the May 25th Monday Night Raw review for Snug Wrestling. You can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and no longer Friday, but it will now be Sundays for Monday Night Raw, NXT, and Friday Night SmackDown. You can also catch Snug with Mr. Blood on TikTok Live every Thursday night as well. Plus, you've got that good old prediction episode for Clash in Italy. You've got Clash in Italy itself as well. Also, go get your merch. Go support us there. That is at tpublic.com/snug_wrestling. I repeat, that is TEE public.com/snug_wrestling. Toxic, it's good to have you back, my brother. That was one time for the one time. 4 letters.
Letters.
One
One
word.
word.
Yeet.